Every hero dreams of their great adventure until it actually begins. Subaru Natsuki knew exactly what to expect when he was transported to another world. After all, he had seen every Isekai anime possible. The typical shy and awkward young man, sent to a fantastical world, destined to become a powerful hero. He would receive a special ability, meet beautiful and kind maidens, and embark on an epic journey to save the day. But what if every cliché that should bring comfort and familiarity turned into its own prison? What happens when the fairy tale turns into a nightmare? Welcome to Channel Anime Complex. ReZero, starting life in another world, skillfully takes advantage of the audience's expectations and established clichés regarding typical Isekai plots. The series plays with established tropes, subverting them in surprising and often painfully effective ways. Instead of a hero destined for success, we have a weak and traumatized protagonist, constantly struggling to survive. Instead of helpless maidens, we find strong and independent female characters. And Subaru's special power turns out to be more of a curse than a blessing. Hey, hold on a second. Before we dive into our amazing content, I need a quick favor. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, or YouTube won't let me compete with Mr. Beast. Seriously, every like and subscribe helps me bring you more epic content. So, show you're an awesome human. Smash that like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Now let's get into the video. Faces of Subversion. One of the most striking features of ReZero is how it deconstructs and reinvents various common tropes of the Isekai genre. The hero who dies repeatedly. Subaru Natsuki is not the typical protagonist destined for success. On the contrary, he is a weak and insecure individual, constantly suffering setbacks and dealing with the frustration of repeatedly failing. A loser. It's easier to root for a loser because he can evolve to another status within the story, or will Subaru end up as he started? In Mushoku Tensei, Rudius starts weak, but soon becomes a prodigy mage. In The Rising of the Shield Hero, Naofumi compensates for the shield with strategy and brute force. But our friend Subaru? Well, he learns to run a little faster. Even after dozens of deaths and resets, he remains the guy who needs help to face 3 street thugs, struggles even to peel potatoes. His greatest evolution is his acquired traumas, the heroine who doesn't need saving. Female characters like Emilia and Rem break away from the damsel in distress stereotype. They are strong, capable, and often the ones who need to save Subaru from his own limitations. This inverted dynamic subverts the expectation that the male hero should be responsible for rescuing and protecting the heroine, the waifus, who are complex people. Instead of idealized and perfect female characters, ReZero presents us with heroines with deep problems and traumas. Forget the female characters who exist just to fawn over the protagonist. In ReZero, you have Emilia, who is too busy with her own candidacy for the throne to be anyone's waifu. Rem, besides being strong enough to destroy a small town on her own, carries deep traumas from her childhood. Compare this with characters like Silica or Liz from SAO, who practically disappear from the story after Kirito saves them. The series constantly plays with the audience's expectations. For example, Subaru expects to be received as a hero destined for success, with special abilities that will make him powerful and capable of overcoming any obstacle. However, what he finds is a cruel and relentless world where he can die in so many painful ways. Everything goes against the traditional hero's journey, where the protagonist acquires skills and becomes stronger throughout the narrative. In ReZero, Subaru does not become an invincible warrior. He remains a fragile and insecure individual, struggling to deal with the challenges he faces. These narrative choices have a profound impact on how the audience engages with the story. By following Subaru's struggles and failures, we identify with his vulnerability and root for his overcoming. The power that imprisons. Subaru's ability to return in time after death should be an advantage, but it ends up being a heavy cross for him to bear. Instead of helping him progress on his journey, this power only forces him to relive terrible moments, causing him increasing mental and emotional anguish. Imagine if Kazuma, from Konosuba, instead of dying comically and being reborn peacefully, had to feel every second of pain and carry the trauma of each death. While most Isekai protagonists collect abilities like Pokemon cards, Subaru collects psychological traumas and emotional scars. Why do we cling to cliches? Think about how you feel watching a classic shounen. The protagonist is in trouble, that epic music starts, and you already know he's going to awaken a new power and win. It's comforting, isn't it? Like hot chocolate on a rainy day. But Zero asks, what if the chocolate was poisoned? We want to see Goku scream for 3 episodes until he reaches a new transformation. We want to see Luffy shout the villain's name 1,000 times until the final battle. These are our narrative comfort zones. Instead of giving us the easy satisfaction of seeing the protagonist win because he's the protagonist. Hello, every battle shounen protagonist ever. ReZero forces us to witness the painful and realistic death of someone learning that being a hero is not about power, but about persistence, humility, and wisdom, and the protagonist's horrible deaths. How familiarity can blind us. But this comfort comes at a price. When Sword Art Online presents us with Kirito, we accept without question that he is the best player just because. When any Isekai gives the protagonist an absurd power in the first episode, we just shrug. Familiarity makes us accept situations that, to be honest, don't make any sense. This is where ReZero shines. It uses our own complacency against us. When Subaru acts like the typical arrogant Isekai protagonist, the series doesn't reward him. It punishes him. Harshly. It's as if the work says, not here, not today. The humanity behind the archetypes. Compare the characters of ReZero with other fantasy anime in Log Horizon. Shuro is the perfect strategist who never fails. Emilia carries the weight of racial prejudices and overwhelming expectations. In No Game, No Life, Sora and Shiro are literally and figuratively invincible. Rem has fought against an inferiority complex her whole life. In The Irregular at Magic High School, Tatsuya is practically a disguised god. Beatrice spent centuries trapped in self-imposed loneliness. And Subaru is the most honest reflection we've ever seen of how a real otaku would react in a fantasy world. He would die quickly. The true journey. ReZero is a manifesto against narrative complacency. At least at the beginning of the anime. The series takes our familiarity with anime cliches and transforms it into a tool to tell a surprisingly human story about trauma, resilience, and personal growth. The subversion works because it is not gratuitous. ReZero is not just a deconstruction of the Isekai genre. It is a reconstruction of what it means to be a hero. And perhaps that is why the series generates so many passionate discussions. It is not every day that an anime makes us question not only our favorite cliches, but also our own expectations about power, heroism, and redemption. In a sea of stories where the power of friendship solves everything, ReZero offers us another path that ReZero respects its audience enough to challenge them. Instead of giving us what we want, it gives us what we need. A story that is not afraid to hurt its characters, poor Subaru, and its viewers to achieve something deeper and more meaningful. Thank you for watching.